along with my teammates S. Meghana and B. Hemanaja Reddy. Today we are going to present you the most awaited topic and recently discussed topic in Parliament of India, that is the Union Budget 2026 to 27 with the theme Investing in Productivity. So today we are going to discuss in detail what are the total expenditure and revenue allocated to specific sector of our country for a futuristic look. Before getting into the details of the budget components, I would like to talk about the few words who is the architect of this document, that is Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. So she is also termed as the Marathon Minister for making the history of presenting her 9th consecutive budget in the Parliament of India, even surpassing the former Prime Minister Moraji Desai's 6th budget record. And she also holds the record of being able to present the longest speech ever, which happened in the year 2020 with a time record of 2 hours and 40 minutes in February month. And she also provisioned for a symbolic shift which replaced the colonial era of presenting the budget in a briefcase, evolving into a more heritage and prosperous look, that is the term called Bahi Khata. You may be all aware when you see the news channels, the budget document being covered in a red type of cloth, that is called Bahi Khata, which contains the Indian digital tablets of the budget document. And she is also India's first full-time finance minister, which is where she is distinct from our former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi too, who held the role as additional in charge. And now my teammate Meghana will brief you about the strategic allocation and the budget components.
Strategic allocation overview, introduction and budget philosophy, the three categories, the strategic compass, major budgetary outlays, strategic investments, where every rupee comes from and goes, infrastructure, the multiplier effect, agriculture from subsidy to value addition, education and skilling, employability first, healthcare, strategic sovereignty, MSMEs and energy, creating global champions, the orange economy, unlocking creative potential, adventure tourism and experiential heritage, conclusion, the path of Viksit Bharat. The third kartavya is inclusion, aligned with Sabka Saath and Sabka Vikas. It ensures development reaches everyone. It also decides a fair distribution of resources. Major budgetary outlays, strategic investment. Defense. The first one is defense, where defense is money spent on national security, focus on modern weapons and self-reliance, encourages India-made defense equipment. Defense is also for protect the country and reduce dependence on imports. Road transport and highways and railways. It improves roads and highways, reduces transport and logistic costs, supports faster economic growth. It is also for better roads that helps trade and development. And the third one is for rural development. Modernized railway system, introduce high-speed rail corridors, promotes eco-friendly electrified. It comes from and goes. Here the rupee where the government finds is from income tax, corporate tax and GST and other taxes, borrowing and other incomes. The government earns money mainly from taxes and loans, and the expenditure allocation, the money where it goes is for state's share of taxes, interest payments on loans, central government schemes and defense and other expenses. So the next slide will be continued by you.
Now we shall discuss the infrastructure allotment in the budget. The infrastructure allotment in the budget is around 12.2 lakh crores. It is a multiplier effect where 1 rupee invested in the infrastructure creates 3.25 rupees for the economy, and a high-speed connectivity, 7 new corridors including Mumbai, Pune and Delhi, Varanasi, agglomerative economics which are related to goods services are introduced, 7 new economic corridors. logistic revolution. 20 new inland waterways are introduced for the easier transport, which are inside the India to reduce the overall transportation cost from 14% to 9%. And the risk mitigation fund introduced by the government to reduce the risk for the private sectors. Next we can discuss about the agriculture. Agriculture moving 10 million farmers from high profit markets to high profit markets. Moving them from cereal based industry to horticulture based industry. Horticulture are coconut, cashew and cocoa findings which are imported for the global brand, which makes the India as the global brand. Bharat Vistar AI, which is then a software system introduced for the real-time monitoring and weather updates. Blue resolution, a integrated reservoirs turning fisheries into income source for the farmers. Secondary income source for the farmers. Education and skilling. In this education and skilling, this budget is more focused on the skilling activities rather than the degree. A PM Setu scheme is introduced for the upgradation of ITIs, industrial training institutes, by the modern machinery and etc. AVGC labs are introduced in 50,000 schools to promote the global content market. AVGC stands for animation, visual and games and content creation. Schools for the students to compete in the global content market. And care economy. Certified care trainers are provided Healthcare and strategic sovereignty. Reducing of pocket expenditure. Reducing the money spent on direct healthcare by the people, and the government is reducing the out of pocket expenditure by the improvement of the government hospitals. Biopharmacy, a 10,000 crore mission is introduced for the development of the biologics and biosimilars. Biologics are the drugs which are introduced directly into the cells, example insulin, etc. Aligned health institutes, 10 new disciplines are introduced, including the radiology and behavioral health. Medical tourism hubs are introduced to extract the foreign to attract the international and foreign exchange. Next my teammate Janvi.
So moving on with the next sector on which the budget has been allocated is MSME and energy sector, which is considered as the backbone of our country. MSME refers to micro, small and medium enterprises. As you can see here, the patient capital for scale, the 10,000 crore amount of SME growth fund has been allocated. Simple in terms to be explained, once the MSME in our country used to be completely debt financed, now it has been changed into a equity financed of capital structure, giving the opportunity for MSME in our country to expand their business and take their own time, but by not being tangled to the financial obligations. And second is the energy independence. So 40,000 crore of amount has been allocated, making sure that our country, India, is being self-reliant in EV manufacturing and having rare earth corridors by not being dependent on a sole country for the importing of the EV materials. And the three objectives: corporate mitras, handling compliance with so that owners can focus on growth. Meaning, MSMEs will be given in a hand by the government through the initiative called corporate mitras, so that they can handle the administrative tasks and the paperwork easily. So the MSMEs can focus on the digitalization and as well as growing their business into a more futuristic look. And second one is the TRE3S mandate, refers to trade receivables and discounting system, which forces the timely payments of CPSC from the MSMEs, ensuring that their digitalized bill discounting is at time. And the third objective is e-commerce exports. So before the introduction of this budget, the e-commerce people, that is the MSME people in our country, used to have a 10 lakh cap in order to export their products globally to the other countries, but now successfully the cap has been removed, ensuring that even small artisans and small businessmen of our country are being access to the global platforms. And moving on to the next concept, the orange economy. Many of you may be curious, like different sectors like infrastructure, technology is being focused on, and what do we have in our place, that is the youth. So the orange economy refers to democratization of the talent, ensuring youth from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities like Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Alpha, many more, are given the opportunity to compete globally using the creativity and digitalized tools, their own talent and innovative creation. So their significance in budget is highlighted through employment engine, the AVGC sector, as my teammate had told, animation, visual effects, gaming and content creation and many more, alone is projected to create 2 million professionals by 2030, that is within 4 years, and mainstreaming the creator. So until now, many people may be aware of the content creation, but it is not given a formal recognition or a legal recognition, it is just recognized as a hobby. So now, successfully, the government has given it a formal career path, stating that they are also part of contributing to our economical significance of the economy. Third one, economic multiplier. Recently, you may be aware of the word called concerts. So concerts is very popular in many countries, and even in our country it is being held at many places. A single solo concert in our country can make the food stalls busy, can make the cabs busy, can make the nearby restaurants and hospitality services all get busy in economical multiplier, ensuring that they are a massive booster, and this is successfully recognized by the government of India, stating this is also a contributing factor to our economical significance. And the next is adventure tourism and trekking and eco trials. So from sightseeing to experience seeking, as you can see, 2,438.40 crore of amount has been allocated to the Ministry of Finance. So the strategic trial development, meaning sustainable paths, has been facilitated in the states like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, and also new infrastructure has been added in places like Arukku Valley and Pothigai Malai, which is in Tamil Nadu, and niche ecotourism. So ecotourism places you may be aware and accessible, but still there are pathable ways to be aligned with. So turtle trials and bird watching circuits are also addition in place. And second, skilling. So when we are ready with new infrastructure addition, we must also equip them with guided pilots. That is 10,000 guide pilots with upskilling being them allocated to 20 iconic destinations of our country, ensuring that they have a 12-week hybrid course in collaboration with the IIMs, and also beyond navigation to immersifying their storytelling and also safety. Experiential heritage. So the 15 archaeological sites of our country is going to get curated walkways, so that we are not going to provide any hindrance to state that these archaeological sites are having a major significance and their heritage of holding. And capital boost. 5,000 crore of amount has been allocated for Visakhapatnam region and also fueling the Arukku Valley development. Finally, coming to the conclusion, as our current Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has stated, we have a very futuristic look called Viksit Bharat 2047. With the tagline now focusing on action over ambivalence, reform over rhetoric, people over populism. Clearly explaining in simple terms, we are going to be in practical implications, not just going to tell any stories and not going to be popular through verbal, but have more practical type of implications. And this budget marks India's revolution from an evolving feature of foundational digital infrastructure to becoming AI's India's first industrial powerhouse in competitive market. And as my teammate Meghana has already delivered about the 3 kartavyas, that is our responsibilities. The first one, growth. How we are going to achieve is through a record of 12.2 lakh crore of capex allocated specifically in chips and biopharma. Second kartavya, capacity, empowering the Yuva Shakti, that is we, the youth, are going to be given the opportunity to compete globally by bridging the gap and provisioning for the employability. And third, the inclusion, ensuring Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas through a uniformity form of growth. Specifically and dedicated to the development for the Northeast region. And this is a very important factor. Fiscal stability, the government, that is the fiscal deficit, has observed 4.3% of a fiscal deficit, which is a very good indicator, through their balanced, aggressive ambition and also a disciplined management, ensuring that their confidence and economical resilience is shown through. And final word, I wanted to say that this Union Budget 2026 to 27 is not just a mere financial statement, but rather a sankalp, meaning a commitment to each other, to our family members, and also to the people in our country, ensuring we are being a global leader in sectors like technology, infrastructure, manufacturing and creativity by the senatorial year. Thank you sir, thank you my dear friends for listening to our presentation.